Now we are going to discuss the Drug Master File. It is a document which is of great importance in pharmaceutical industry because it contains all the information about a product or the components of the product, and basically it is the submission of information to FDA, and this FDA is Food and Drug Administration. Means all the information about the product will be submitted to the FDA in the form of Drug Master File. And what this information will have? This information will include the chemistry of the product, means what is the nature of the product, how it behaves and how it is synthesized, means all the chemistry involved, how it can react, what will be its solubility, and all these things will be written in the chemistry part. And the next, manufacturing, how this particular drug substance or the drug product has been manufactured, and its controls, means during the manufacturing what are the different controls which were governed and considered so that the uniform and reproducible production of the particular drug or a particular component of the drug substance can be achieved in a good yield. Now, if I say this, it means that this Drug Master File should contain only the chemistry, manufacturing and control information. No, it shouldn't contain only that information. It should also contain, as this will be for the drug substance as well as for that of the drug product. So, it should also contain the information about the packaging of the product as well as the storage conditions of the product. Now, under the packaging condition, we says under means how it should be protected from that of the environmental conditions, and for that protection, what will be the nature of the our package material, and that package material, what will be the different components of that package material, means it will be polyvinyl chloride derivative, it will be PVP derivative, it will contain PVC, it contain polyethylene, polypropylene, means what will be the nature of the plastic or aluminium foil, whatever may be the included, then composition of that packaging material should be written in this part, means this DMF is containing all the information regarding its chemistry, manufacturing, control as well as the packaging container composition and how it should be stored, means the product should be stored in a particular pack, like it should be stored in the glass vials, amber glass vials, or it should be stored in strips, it should be stored in blisters, or it should be stored in a plastic pack, or it should be a single entity storage, or it should be multiple component storage, means it should be packed in a single bottle, 30 tablets are packed or 20 tablets are packed accordingly, means this Drug Master File should provide all these information to the FDA. And this Drug Master File is not the basic requirement of the, or we can say it is an alternative to investigational new drugs as well as new drug application as well as ANDA. Means it is not an alternate for that of these three applications which a manufacturer or a pharmaceutical firm takes. Means if a pharmaceutical manufacturer applies for that of the investigational new drug application, if applies for the new drug application, if applies for abbreviated new drug application, then if you say you have that these things are the alternatives of the DMF, no, these are not the alternatives of the DMF. DMF is the supporting material for all these, means DMF will be containing all the information and DMF will be used to supplement the information as required in these applications, means while a manufacturer is going to apply either for investigational new drug or for a new drug application or abbreviated new drug application, means for a generic product approval, then that manufacturer will provide this Drug Master File to supplement all the information authority requires, if they are submitting to the FDA, then this FDA authority will take the DMF and they will study the DMF to furnish the information. Means they will get all the information about the chemistry, manufacturing, control, packaging as well as storage of the drug or the drug substance by the information supplemented by the manufacturer in the DMF. So DMF is not an alternative part, means I have made a DMF and then I can go for all these. No. If I am applying for any of it, then I should have a DMF, and that DMF is going to provide whole information to these authorities so they can review the application for which have been applied by the manufacturer. Since there is no regulatory requirement that a DMF should be filed, but it is basically a supplement of the information for the various applications. Now, what are the types of the DMF? DMF originally is of 5 types, means it contains the plant information, it will contain all the information about the plant, means manufacturing site, manufacturing conditions, space available, facilities available. Then all the information will be there in type 1, means plant information will be available in DMF type 1. If we goes to that of the type 2, then DMF type 2 will be containing the information about the drug substance, drug product, intermediates, means what are the different intermediates will be formed, what are the different steps, means for example, if I am going to manufacture a tablet, then obviously what will be the intermediate steps, means I will, if I am preparing it by wet granulation method, then granulation will be the intermediate product. Now, it will contain all the information about the drug substance, drug product and the intermediates which are prepared during the formulation of a particular drug substance by the manufacturer, as well as all the materials, means it will contain all the information about all the kinds of the excipients, whether they are diluent, they are binder, they are antiadherent, they are glycate, lubricant, or they are the organoleptic additives. They may be color, they may be flavoring agent, they may be sweetener. Then all of the information will be supplemented in Drug Master File Type 2. Whereas all the packaging information, means what kind of the package will be for a particular drug substance or a drug product, and how this intermediary drug products should be stored, then that information will be supplemented and will be written in type 3 packaging type Drug Master File, as well as what is the chemistry of the excipients and what is their biocompatibility with that of the drug substance, then it will be written in the Drug Master File type 4, that is excipients, means it will contain all the information about the excipients. Now, the another DMF, the 5th DMF will contain all the information which are not included in from type 1 to type 4, means it will contain all the information which is not included in the type 1 to type 4, means type 1 to type 4 included information about the plant, about the drug substance and drug product and intermediates, packaging, excipients, but they don't contain the information about the clinical studies, as well as they don't contain the information about the toxicity of the product. So, all this information will be included in the type 5 Drug Master File. Now, we will discuss the various terminologies which are used in preparing the DMF and how they are utilized. First is the holder. Holder will be, means who has the authority, means it may be a person that is appointed by a particular firm, that will be a pharmaceutical firm. They have appointed a particular person who will submit the Drug Master File. Then it will be that person has the authority then that person will be the holder for this drug master file, or itself the company may be the holder. If the name of the company is going, then that company is the holder of the drug master file. Means if the company is submitting by its name, then the company will be the holder, or if the company has authorized an individual, then the person of that person will be the holder of the drug master file. The next thing, that is the agent. Agent means agent will be a person who represents the DMF holder. For example, a pharmaceutical firm has appointed me as the communicating individual, so that in order to make any change or in order to supplement the information as required by the FDA, then I will be an agent. So agent will be a person who will represent the DMF holder. Means all the communications will be made by me to make the amendments, to make the changes, or if they require a particular information, then I will do that. Then I will be an agent. So holder will be one who will be having the authority of DMF, and there is not the necessity that holder and agent will be different. If I am the holder of this DMF, then obviously if I am communicating for all the correspondence, then I will be agent also. But if I am the holder of, or I will say I have the authority of the drug master file, and I am not doing the communication with that of the administration, Food and Drug Administration, then I have appointed another entity or another individual to do these kind of the correspondence, then that person will be the agent for the drug master file. Then FDA will not communicate with that of the holder. FDA will directly communicate with that of the agent if they require a particular information or a particular thing regarding the DMF. Now, the applicant. Applicant will be the person who is applying. Means applicant could be a industry. Means particular industry is applying, then applicant could be that. Or they have authorized an individual, then applicant could be that. Customer means who is taking the product. For example, if I say I have an industry and I am synthesizing the active pharmaceutical ingredients. Now I am selling those APIs to the pharmaceutical industry B, for example, and that industry is utilizing my API for the production of the different products, either maybe tablet, capsules, or whatever may be. Now I have as an API, then I have made the drug master file for the API. Now the customer will reference, means the industry who is purchasing from me, then they will reference my drug master file in their formulation type 2 drug master file information. Means type 2 DMF for the drug product, they will reference the drug master file for the API. Means that API having that drug master file we have utilized, and it will have all the specifications as justified in the drug master file of the API submitted by the other authority. Means I have submitted for the API, then my drug master file will have the specific code, then that will be referenced. Then the party, another customer who has purchased that API, then it will be the customer. Then authorized party means I have a pharmaceutical firm, I am not handling the regulatory requirements, I have authorized a third party. Means they will do all the correspondence, all the kind of the things to make the changes or to supplement the thing or to handle the regulatory requirements. Then that individual or that firm will be the authorized party for that correspondence. Now these are the different terminologies that are commonly used. Other than that, these means applicant, customer, authorized party who references the DMF application. Means they are applicant, means who is applying for the DMF. Customer means they have another firm has purchased from me, for example, and then they are utilizing that number or that DMF, then they are the customer. Authorized party means they are doing all the correspondence, then they are referencing the DMF application. Means all these are referencing DMF application, drug master file application, either for applying the investigational new drug or for applying the new drug application, or they are applying for that of the abbreviated new drug application. For whatever may be the purpose, then they are referencing the drug master file. Next is the supplement to that of the, means there are the terminology that this DMF is the supplement. Basically this supplement means I have a pharmaceutical firm and I have applied for that of the abbreviated new drug application or the new drug application, then I have made a supplement, means they have asked a query has come from the authority and now I have to supplement, I have to provide the information for that query, then I will provide a supplement to that ANDA or NDA, and that will be containing all the reports or all the changes that have been made in the DMF according to the requirement of the authority, then they will be submitted as a supplement to that of the ANDA or NDA. Next thing is the amendment to the application, means according to the requirement of the application certain changes are required, means according to the regulatory requirements certain changes are made in the application. For example, application could be existing investigational new drug application, I have applied for that of the investigational new drug application, then this is existing, then certain amendments are needed in the drug master file in a particular protocol or in a particular procedure, then they will be done and they will be submitted. If there is a pending ANDA or NDA, then accordingly that need to be supplemented, then amendment application will be done for that. If there is a pending ANDA and NDA supplement, means earlier we have applied for that of the ANDA or NDA, but the application is pending because of the certain issues generated during the review process, then for that we will make an amendment to an application and submit the drug master file. And again the review authority has made certain another questions, another things, they have asked for the another things, then we will have again we have the pending ANDA or NDA application, and now in order to supplement, we have already supplemented the pending information, amended DMF, but now in order to supplement again, what we are going to submit, then it will be termed as amended DMF for the pending NDA or ANDA supplement. It will be supplement for the information if it is in the form ki already once the submission has been done and again the review authority has made the certain queries, then to answer that we will again supplement the information, then it will be pending ANDA or NDA supplement for that of the particular query, then they will be termed as amended applications. So these are the different terminologies which are going to be used in the DMF and while applying for the DMF. Now we will discuss the different kinds of the DMF in detail. Now, the type 1 drug master file, that will be containing all the information about the plant, means where this manufacturing site is present, and it will include the information about the manufacturing site, means where it is as well as what is its space available with the manufacturer, means manufacturer will have how much of the space available for manufacturing of a particular product. It will also justifies as well as explains the equipment capabilities. Equipment capabilities means in order to manufacture a particular product, what are the equipments available over the plant or the manufacturing site. All these will be explained in this, means what is the capability, means how many instruments in how many numbers as well as what is their capacities, all will be justified and will be represented under this heading, that is the equipment capabilities. Then operational layout means how the system will perform in the manufacturing site, means there will be a layout flow diagram which will represent how the movement of the content happens in the manufacturing site. For example, I will say this operational layout will contain the information the product has reached to that of the entrance of the manufacturing site, it has been received. Now receiver will be there, then it will be placed into that of the storage area, then it will move to that of the processing part, and then or it may move to the quality control department where the quality and the specifications will be checked. Once its specifications and qualities are checked, and if it meets the specifications and quality of the product, then it will be moved to that of the further processing steps. Either it could be the manufacturing area, means for manufacturing of a particular part or particular intermediate, then it will be further moved to that another area, means where the another processing will be done. For example, if we are making the tablet, then there will be site where the granules will be prepared. Then after the granulation, they will be shifted for the drying into the another area. Then after drying, they will be shifted to that of the compressing area where the tablet compressing machines will be available. Then after compression of the product, then they will be stored into the bulk containers, and then after the storage in the bulk container, they will be moved to the package area where they will be packed into a suitable packaging material, and then there will be the dispensing area in which they will be dispensed into the bigger cartons or into the smaller cartons, and then smaller cartons in the bigger cartons, and then there will be a dispatch area. So in this way, the operational layout of the product, how the operational layout in the manufacturing site is going on, that will be explained under the heading that is operational layout. Now it will also provide the information, this plant information, it will provide the actual location, means where the this actual site location, means we says that, for example, we says Vanasthali Vidyapeeth is near to the town, then it is not the actual location. Vanasthali Vidyapeeth locates in the Vanasthali, is in the Vanasthali village, then it is the actual site address. In the same manner, this plant information will contain, means where this pharmaceutical farm is, then actual site address will be located in this head. Then where are the corporate heads? It is not necessary that a pharmaceutical farm where the manufacturing is going on, they will have the corporate office at that place. You know also that various manufacturing plants are in Baddi in Himachal, but their corporate heads are located either in Bangalore, either in Ahmedabad, in Bombay, Delhi. So these corporate heads may be at the different location. So the address of all the corporate head locations will be given under the corporate headquarters. Means all the addresses will be given there. Then this plant information should contain a map which will show or which will locate its location nearest to that of the particular city. For example, we are going to locate a particular place, then we locate it near to the city, how much away from the city and how it can be covered, that a distance can be covered by air, by road or by water, whatever may be, it will be located in the map, and what is the distance to the nearest city will be located in the map, and how this site can be approached, it will be written as well as justified below the map. And this will contain, means this plant information will contain all the information, means it will contain all the information about the manufacturing site, equipment capabilities, actual site address, operational layout, corporate headquarters, as well as map representing its location nearest to the approachable city. So all this plant information will be given in Drug Master File Type 1. Now we will move to the Type 2 Drug Master File. Now Type 2 drug substance, intermediate and materials used in their preparation DMF, means this Type 2 DMF will contain all the information about the drug substance, intermediates and the materials which will be used for the preparation of the product. Now in order to prepare type 2 kind of the drug master file, there are the certain guidelines according to that of the chemistry, manufacturing and control of the product. Means these guidelines and these formats should be followed to provide the information about the chemistry, manufacturing and control of the processes, as well as guideline for the analytical validation. They should be followed to make type 2 kind of the drug master file. And this drug master file basically include the information about the manufacturing sections. Means information about the manufacturing sections means how the product is going to be manufactured. Means what are the different steps involved in the production of a product. For example, if I say I am making a tablet by wet granulation method, then I will explain the first step will be the selection of the ingredients. Second step will be the weighing of the components, accurately weighing will be done. Then the next step will be the mixing. Next part will be shifting, mixing, and then it will be mixed with that of the granulating agent. Then after addition of the granulating agent, suitable mixing will be done. Then sieving will be done to prepare the granules, and after preparation of the granules, they will be dried under the suitable conditions of drying. After drying, they will be further processed for that of the will be further processed by the addition of the glidants, anti-adherents. Then again the mixing will be done, and these powders will be moved to that of the tablet compression unit, where the tablets will be compressed. So all the manufacturing sections, means how the product will be manufactured, should be included in the manufacturing sections. Next comes the quality control. Now, since we are manufacturing a product, then this product should meet the quality. Then there is a role of the quality control department, where they will do the evaluation of the intermediate products, as well as they will do the evaluation of the finished products. Now, this quality control department will do the evaluation of the inputs. Inputs will be, means whatever may be the raw material, as I have explained in the operational layout, the raw materials which have been collected, they will be evaluated. Means the raw material, whatever may be used to prepare a particular drug product, drug substance or a finished product, then their raw materials will be evaluated for their specifications, whether they are meeting the quality. Since if the quality of the raw material will be good, then only we can think for a quality product. Now, they will evaluate the raw materials, as well as they will evaluate the packaging material. Now, since the quality department has evaluated the raw material as well as the packaging material, now this whole of the content will be processed. They will be sent to the manufacturing section. If they meet the specific requirements, means they meet the quality, then they will be processed. Now, since we are processing, for example, in the manufacturing section, we were processing the tablets, and the intermediary steps were processing of the granules. Now, the intermediate component that is obtained was the granules, and those granules will be evaluated whether they have a good flow property, whether they are uniformly dried, or whether they have the suitable flow or they have the suitable size. Then all these things will be evaluated by the quality control department under the process that will be intermediary processes for the evaluation. Now, once the intermediary product meets the quality, meets the specification, then it will be used for the processing of the finished product. Now, once the finished product is ready, then it will be again evaluated by the quality control department for its particular characteristic features, whether it is meeting that characteristic features. In case of the tablets, we will evaluate its size, shape, appearance, disintegration. We will perform the assay of the drug content, as well as we will evaluate its dissolution, disintegration, etc., depending upon the need. Now, the another part, that as we are doing the evaluation, but before manufacturing, what is needed first? That is the validation. Means we have the suitable validated mixing, granulating and other systems. Means all the processes has been uniformly validated or no. If the process has been uniformly validated, means they facilitates the uniform drying. They facilitate in case of the dryers, if they facilitates the uniform mixing, in case of the mixers, if they facilitate the uniform granulation, then a granulating system, or if we have validated the suitable assay procedure for the drug, then it should be specified in the validation area. Means the heading where the validation of all these things will be written, then it should be justified that these are the control conditions under which we can achieve the reproducible results. Now, this type 2 drug master file will also contain the information about the stability. Means under which condition our product will remain stable, for how much duration and how it should be stored. And this drug master file 2 will also contain all the information that what are the different kind of the impurities and in what amount they are present in the system. It will be explained in this heading. Means all the kinds of the impurities, either they are heavy metal impurities or any other impurity, they will be justified and specified under this heading. As well as this type 2 drug master file will also provide the information about the packaging and the labeling. Means as the stability data is available over here, then it will be specified that under which condition this drug substance or the drug product should be stored and how this product should be labeled so that it can be easily identified and it can be used by the customers. So, in this way, type 2 drug master file contains all the information. Type 3 drug master file is basically specifying the packaging material. Means what will be the packaging material used for packaging of the particular kind of a drug substance or the drug product, as well as if some intermediates need to be stored, then how they should be stored. Means it will contain all kinds of the information about the packaging material. For example, packaging material could be glass material, it could be plastic derivative or it could be metal derivative. For example, in case of the aerosol preparations, metallic containers are used. In case of the liquid formulations dispensing like eye drops, plastic containers are used. In case of the parenteral product dispensing, we use the plastic containers as well as glass containers. Whereas in order to dispense the solid dosage form, we make use of the strip packs and blister packs, and certain things are also, certain tablets are also dispensed in we say like in bottles. They may be glass bottles or they may be plastic bottles. Means it is not a significantly set condition that this particular container will be only the suitable container, but in order to justify that which kind of the container will be suitable for our formulation, some compatibility testing will be done by the manufacturer that whether this particular kind of the product is compatible with that of the packaging material, as well as whether this packaging material is suitable to protect the product from that of the humidity and light exposure. So, this drug master file, type 3 drug master file basically will contain all the information about the packaging material, and these packaging materials are, means first point that will be covered under the packaging materials will be packaging materials intended. Means what kind of the packaging material is required for storing or for packaging of the particular kind of the product. Means for the liquid, for the solid or for that of the aerosolized preparation, what will be the best one, it will be selected, and selection criteria of that packaging material depending upon the compatibility, safety will be given, and it will be justified in the packaging material intended for a particular product in this part of the DMF. Now, the next part of the DMF of type 3 means under the second subsection, what are the components and compositions? Means if we are making a strip pack, then what will be the composition of the strip pack? If we are making a blister pack, then what will be the composition of the blister pack? Or if we are making a plastic container, then what will be the composition of the plastic container or metallic container? Whatever may be, it will be justified into this subheading of components and compositions. For example, if I said there is a metallic container for the storage of a particular product, but the product shows corrosive behavior with that metallic container. For example, for the aerosolized preparation, if I says aluminium container has been used and ethanol has been added in the preparation. Now ethanol reacts with that of the aluminium and it lead to the formation of generation of hydrogen gas, and it lead to that of the formation of the cracks in the interior of the container. So one thing is that if aluminium container is used for the packaging of this kind of the preparation, ethanolic preparation, then it will not be the suitable one. Then we opt for that of the another kind of the metallic container. Or if there is some corrosivity with that of the metallic container of the preparation, then internal linings are given, just like epoxy vinyl coatings are given inside the container, so that inertness of the container can be achieved. So this internal lining is done for the dual purpose. For example, certain drugs like insulin gets adsorbed over the surface of the glass, so it will reduce the dose of the insulin into an insulin injection. So in order to avoid the adsorption of the insulin over the surface of the glass bottle, certain inert coating is given, epoxy vinyl coating is given inside the glass container, or either an additive will be added to prevent it. Now we are considering about the packaging material over here. So the selection of the packaging material and the different components along with their composition will be explained under this subsection. So depending upon the formulation, what has been selected, what is the composition of the different containers, the closures, as well as what will be the composition of particular kind of the pack, either it is strip pack, blister pack, bottle container or any other container, then it will be specified under this subsection. Now, if we are storing it into that of the cardboard cartons due for the shipment of our product, then also the packaging will be specified under this subsection, that how this product will be placed into that of the bigger cartons, what will be the composition of those cardboard containers cardboard our containers, and then how they can bear and how much shear they can bear. Now the next part will be that it will contain the name of all the suppliers and fabricators of the component. For example, it is not necessary that pharmaceutical industry will do all the things. Means they takes the raw material from that of the supplier, like they may take the packaging components, like those components which will be used to prepare a packaging material, and then they are preparing their own packs at their manufacturing site. Or this is the one case that they are manufacturing the packaging container at their own site, but usually pharma industry takes the help of the another suppliers. Means there are the different suppliers for the specific containers, closures and specific kind of the packaging material. So what the pharmaceutical firms do, they purchase the containers, closures and other accessories for their purpose of packaging of the components, and then those containers will be utilized to pack the content and then it will be sealed. So the name, if the pharma industry and that has used the components which are supplied by the another firm, then name of the supplier as well as name of the supplier means there may be the probability some intermediary channel is there for the supply of this content, then who was the supplier of those packaging materials and who has fabricated. There is a possibility that fabricator and supplier may be the single entity, or they may be the two different entities. Then the DMF of our type 3 DMF for the packaging of the drug product will include all the name of the suppliers and fabricators of the packaging components. Means whole detail will be given, who has fabricated and when it was fabricated, what will be the expiry of that product, and who was the supplier, what will be the address of the supplier, so that any moment of the time they can be contacted as well as they can be asked for a particular kind of information. Now, next is the acceptance specifications. Now, this subsection in type 3 DMF means first subsection included packaging materials, whatever the intended. Second subsection included components and compositions. Third subsection included the name of the suppliers and the fabricators of the different components. Fourth subsection will include the acceptance specifications. Means what are the acceptance specifications? Means, for example, if I say we are using the glass containers for packaging of our product. Now, what is the rate of the leaching of the components, like alkali leaching rate, or what is the probability that my drug component is going to adsorb over the surface? Then there should be an acceptance limit, as well as if the closer is coming in contact with that of the formulation, then is there any probability the content will leach out or components of the formulation are going to be adsorbed over the surface? Then there should be an acceptance specification, and this will be what will be the percentage it can bind, what will be the percentage it can hold. Then all these will be specified in the acceptance specifications, as well as the acceptance specifications will also include the tensile strength of the container, fragility of the container, means how much fragile it should be for particular kind of the packing. If I am using the plastic container, then what will be the plasticity of the container and what will be its tensile strength, how much shear it can experience at the time of the transportation or at the time when the container may spill from that of the hand of the customer or the user, then whether it will be able to experience that particular kind of the shear. So all these acceptance specifications will be provided under this subsection. Then the next subsection will be the toxicological data on these all the kind of the materials which have been utilized for the product, for the preparation of containers or the closures. Means all the toxicological data should be included, as there may be the probability that leaching of the heavy metals, leaching of a particular kinds of the iron, leaching of the alkali may happen from that of the container to that of the formulation, and depending upon the reactivity between the product and the container, our formulation components may get adsorbed over the surface of the container also. So, in order to have, if the leaching of the content is there from that of the container surface to the preparation, then there is a probability that the amount that has leached into the preparation may have the toxic effect. So, all the toxicological data of these materials, either they are supplied by the supplier or the fabricator, then they should be included under this subsection, or some studies have been done during the packaging, means in order to check the compatibility between the preparation and the formulation. If it has been done, then all the data will be given under this subsection, that is the toxicological data of the packaging materials. Next subsection will, now these things, all these things are going to be the part of the type 3 packaging material. Now type 3 packaging material, if I say how it should be written and what should be its format. Now FDA has given a format and guideline to prepare type 3 drug master file, and they have also suggested that these guidelines should be followed so that they can be, so that drug master file can provide the accurate and permissible information at a single chance. Means there is no need for that of the rectification, verifications and overwriting it again and again. So the guidelines that are used for packaging material, for writing the DMF of the packaging material, is the packaging for human drugs and biological guidelines. Means guidelines are given by the FDA for packaging for the human drugs and biologics. Now under this guidelines, all the instructions are given, that according to which this data will be summarized in type 3 DMF, and this type 3 DMF is containing all the information about the packaging material, whether it is composition, whether it is its toxicological data, or its suppliers, fabricators, or the acceptance specifications. Means all these will be written according to the guidelines for the human drugs and biologicals as specified by the FDA. Now, type 4 excipients. Type 4 DMF will include all the information about the excipients. Means excipients will be the part of the component of the formulation which are other than the active pharmaceutical ingredients. And if the excipients are commonly used excipients, for example, if I say the excipient used in my preparation is microcrystalline cellulose, lactose, spray-dried lactose, like these kind of the things which are commonly utilized and specified, then we need not to submit their chemistry, manufacturing and control specifications to the authority for the review, and they will not be reviewed. So how we will provide the information? Then in the type 4 DMF, type 4 excipient requirement, we will just specify the name of the drug master file of the excipients. Means if we have a standard excipient which have already existing DMF and we have purchased from a supplier and those suppliers have their own DMF, then we will give the number of the DMF. If any query comes, then it will be consulted. Now, it means we need not to provide the chemistry, manufacturing and control specifications for these kind of the excipients which are not new, and so DMF will not be reviewed for this kind of the excipients, and DMF will also not be generated for this kind of the excipients. However, when there are the exceptions, for example, even though the route of the administration has been changed, means earlier that component was given for the oral route, then it was safe. For example, if I take an example of spray-dried lactose, if it is given in the oral formulations, then it exhibit a safety index. But if I will give it through that or for the inhalation formulations, means those formulations which will be inhaled. Now, the amount of the lactose, even though it was safer, as well as it was having a particular chemistry that was in the oral formulation, then now how it is going to affect the formulation characteristics and what are the characteristic features and manufacturing method, then it will be reviewed. Now, it is an exceptional part as we have changed the route of administration, as well as if there is an alteration of the dose. For example, if I say in my one of the formulation, it contains 10 mg of the lactose, spray-dried lactose, and it facilitates the ease of inhalation as it facilitates the improvement in the flow properties of the formulation. But I have increased the amount of the spray-dried lactose in the formulation. Now, the increment in the amount of the spray-dried lactose in the inhalation formulation may affect its safety as well as its efficacy. Now, if it is going to affect its safety and efficacy, then there is an urgent requirement that the DMF should be formulated. So, under these conditions, if a particular kind of the dosage form has a different route of administration as stated for the excipients in the earlier DMF, then obviously we will require type 4 DMF of the excipients. Or there is an alteration in the dose, then again we will require the formulation of type 4 DMF for the excipients. And this is if a molecule, any kind of the excipient that will be used is newer in nature, means it is novel in nature, which have certain applicability also and newer in nature, then it will require the formulation of type 4 DMF, and in that type 4 DMF we will supply all the chemistry, manufacturing part of this particular kind of the excipient and control requirements as stated in the type 2 DMF then it will be uniformly stated in this type 4 DMF. Now, if I say this type 4 DMF will contain all the information for the excipients. Now, under the two conditions, if the route of administration has been changed for a particular excipient or the dose has been altered, then type 4 DMF will be formulated. And if our excipient is a novel moiety, then obviously we need to formulate a new DMF. But if it is a older moiety and it is used for the same purpose, means oral route for example, then there will be no need to formulate the type 4 DMF. And the last one DMF is type 5 DMF. This type 5 DMF is used to submit the clinical and toxicity data. Now this type 5 DMF will contain or it will not contain any information as stated in earlier DMF, means type 1, 2, 3 and 4. If they contain the information, whatever information they contain, then it will not be specified in type 5 kind of the DMF. It will exclusively include the information about the clinical studies and the toxicological information. And FDA also recommends that there should not be duplicacy of the information in type 5, as well as all the information should not be miscellaneous, means it contains all the information. Sometimes it contains the information of type 1, then type 2, type 3, type 4. It should exclusively include all the information about the clinical part and the toxicological part of a particular kind of the product or a substance. Now, in this case, if type 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 DMF has been formulated, then what a holder do? A holder was the company or a person assigned for that of the responsibility of the drug master file. Now, holder sends a letter of intent to that of the staff, drug master file writing staff, and then that letter will be issued to the staff that he is corresponding these DMF to that of the FDA. Now, FDA will receive these DMF and then they will review it and they will set a time for the discussion of particular kind of the information with that of the holder or the agent who has the authority to correspond with that of the FDA. So, in this way, these were the different types of the DMF which are formulated in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, type 4 excipients. Type 4 DMF will include all the information about the excipients. Means excipients will be the part of the component of the formulation which are other than the active pharmaceutical ingredients. And if the excipients are commonly used excipients, for example, if I say the excipient used in my preparation is microcrystalline cellulose, lactose, spray-dried lactose, like these kind of the things which are commonly utilized and specified, then we need not to submit their chemistry, manufacturing and control specifications to the authority for the review, and they will not be reviewed. So, how we will provide the information? Then in the type 4 DMF, type 4 excipient requirement, we will just specify the name of the drug master file of the excipients. Means if we have a standard excipient which have already existing DMF and we have purchased from a supplier and those suppliers have their own DMF, then we will give the number of the DMF. If any query comes, then it will be consulted. Now, it means we need not to provide the chemistry, manufacturing and control specifications for these kind of the excipients which are not new. And so, DMF will not be reviewed for this kind of the excipients, and DMF will also not be generated for this kind of the excipients. However, when there are the exceptions, for example, even though the route of the administration has been changed, means earlier that component was given for the oral route, then it was safe. For example, if I take an example of spray-dried lactose, if it is given in the oral formulations, then it exhibit a safety index. But if I will give it through that or for the inhalation formulations, means those formulations which will be inhaled. Now, the amount of the lactose, even though it was safer, as well as it was having a particular chemistry that was in the oral formulation, then now how it is going to affect the formulation characteristics and what are the characteristic features and manufacturing method, then it will be reviewed. Now, it is an exceptional part as we have changed the route of administration, as well as if there is an alteration of the dose. For example, if I say in my one of the formulation it contains 10 mg of the lactose, spray-dried lactose, and it facilitates the ease of inhalation as it facilitates the improvement in the flow properties of the formulation. But I have increased what? The amount of the spray-dried lactose in the formulation. Now, the increment in the amount of the spray-dried lactose in the inhalation formulation may affect its safety as well as its efficacy. Now, if it is going to affect its safety and efficacy, then there is an urgent requirement that the DMF should be formulated. So, under these conditions, if a particular kind of the dosage form has the different route of administration as stated for the excipients in the earlier DMF, then obviously we will require type 4 DMF of the excipients, or there is an alteration in the dose, then again we will require the formulation of type 4 DMF for the excipients. And this is if a molecule, if any kind of the excipient that will be used is newer in nature, means it is novel in nature, which have certain applicability also and newer in nature, then it will require the formulation of type 4 DMF, and in that type 4 DMF we will supply all the chemistry, manufacturing part of this particular kind of the excipient and control requirements as stated in the type 2 DMF, then it will be uniformly stated in this type 4 DMF. Now, if I say this type 4 DMF will contain all the information for the excipients. Now, under the two conditions, if the route of administration has been changed for a particular excipient or the dose has been altered, then type 4 DMF will be formulated. And if our excipient is a novel moiety, then obviously we need to formulate a new DMF. But if it is a older moiety and it is used for the same purpose, means oral route for example, then there will be no need to formulate the type 4 DMF. And the last one DMF is type 5 DMF. This type 5 DMF is used to submit the clinical and toxicity data. Now, this type 5 DMF will contain or it will not contain any information as stated in earlier DMF, means type 1, 2, 3 and 4. If they contain the information, whatever information they contain, then it will not be specified in type 5 kind of the DMF. It will exclusively include the information about the clinical studies and the toxicological information. And FDA also recommends that there should not be duplicacy of the information in type 5, as well as all the information should not be miscellaneous, means it contains all the information. Sometimes it contains the information of type 1, then type 2, type 3, type 4. It should exclusively include all the information about the clinical part and the toxicological part of a particular kind of the product or a substance. Now, in this case, if type 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 DMF has been formulated, then what a holder do? A holder was the company or a person assigned for that of the responsibility of the drug master file. Now, holder sends a letter of intent to that of the staff, drug master file writing staff, and then that letter will be issued to the staff that he is corresponding these DMF to that of the FDA. Now FDA will receive these DMF and then they will review it and they will set a time for the discussion of particular kind of the information with that of the holder or the agent who has the authority to correspond with that of the FDA. So in this way, these were the different types of the DMF which are formulated in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, as the holder or the agent has submitted the drug master file to the FDA. So, FDA has received it and then FDA will assign a specific number and type to this drug master file. As the FDA has received letter of transmittance as well as authorization information and technical information. Now, the FDA will send a letter to that of our holder or the corresponding individual, and that will consist of the number assigned to that of the database in the number assigned to the DMF in the database as well as the type, means what type and what number has been assigned to the DMF, as well as it will remind of the responsibilities, means this letter will give the information to the holder that what kind of the information or what kind of the responsibilities he or she has to fulfill, as she is the correspondent or he is the correspondent regarding this, means all the changes which have been amended, all the changes which have been made according to the need of the time in the sections or the subsections of the DMF, then it should be specified. Now, it also notifies that holder, if the name of the holder has been changed, or we can say if the name of the agent has been changed or the address of the holder or the agent has been changed, then it should be suitably specified to the FDA, as well as there should be an annual update, means every DMF will be updated annually. If there is no change in the DMF, then a letter will be sent to the FDA that the no change is done in the DMF and the submitted DMF is the current DMF. Now, along with this, then they also send a letter of authorization to the holder, and that letter of authorization will, if the FDA has sent the letter of authorization to that of the DMF holder or DMF submitter, means who is the correspondent, then this letter of authorization will trigger the evaluation of or will trigger the review of our DMF. Now, it also authorizes the FDA, means this letter of authorization. They will ask for the letter of authorization, means FDA is asking the letter of authorization from that of the DMF holder that whether this DMF need to be reviewed or need to be consulted as a reference, then they will ask for the letter of authorization and holder will send a letter of authorization to that of the FDA, and as the holder will send a letter of authorization to the FDA, then it will trigger its review process, as well as it will also authorize the FDA to use this document, means this DMF, as a reference for that of the either for that of the new investigational drug application or NDA or ANDA application, means it will be the starting point for the review of the DMF which has been submitted by the holder to the authority. Now, the next step comes is this DMF which has been submitted by the holder to the FDA. Now, what will be done? Means if there is no annual updation, means this holder is not, means the corresponding individual of that DMF is not corresponding consecutively for 3 years to the FDA about the annual update, then FDA keeps this document, means this DMF, into that of the retirement phase. Since there is no updation and no correspondence is done by the holder annually according to that sent by the FDA to the holder. So FDA will again send a letter to that of the holder that consider the change if you will submit a change, or if there is no change, if you will again send a letter of authorization that it should be considered, this document should be considered for further referencing, then only it will be kept into that of the repository. Now, if the FDA sends a letter to that of the holder and holder also again not respond for 90 days, then this DMF will be kept, will be removed from that of the, it will be removed from that of the central document room, and it will be kept into the federal documentation repository. Means it will be the number, it will be given a new authorization number and it will be removed, and all the DMF, one DMF copy will be kept into that of the FDA office and other copies will be destroyed. But if the holder sends a letter to that of the FDA or sends an information that this FDA has, this DMF has no change, means drug master file doesn't require any change, and it is the current, and in the current situation also it fulfills the requirement and all the specifications are currently are the same as specified in the earlier submitted DMF, then FDA will keep it into that of the central documentation room and it will be further processed and referenced for the further duration of the time. And in the similar manner, every year holder has need to update the document. So in summary, this drug master file basically provides the information, provides all the technical information to that of the reviewing authority, that is the FDA, to support the application of investigational new drug application or abbreviated new drug application for a drug or a drug substance or a drug product. Now, if if this DMF is necessarily, it is not the necessary requirement that FDA will review it. So FDA will review only if the holder sends a letter of authorization or if it has been referenced in another application and it needs the consultation of that DMF, then only it will be considered. So a DMF may or may not be reviewed by the authority, means FDA may or may not review it, but depending upon the need it will be reviewed for the further processing of the application. So it is the supplementary document, it is not the essential application. Means if a manufacturer or if a holder writes a DMF for a particular product or a particular drug substance, then that holder will get the approval for a new drug moiety or for a abbreviated new drug moiety. Now, if it is not the mandatory requirement that new drug approval will be achieved or abbreviated new drug production approval will be achieved, means it is just a supplementary document to fulfill the requirement of the application.